Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host Jum. Today we talk about The Boys Season 4. Before we get into it, we're not going to go through this chronologically because it is a lot of episodes that are like an hour long each. But we'll just talk about some of the highlights. So, I know we're getting right into it, but like, I don't know, something felt off this season. I'm like, it's not as strong as Soldier Boy season.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It doesn't go as hard. So like going into this, I think we had like you had like a post, and our good friend Seb just had a comment, and I just had to agree. Where I was like, not gonna lie, I'm getting really tired of the boy. But the thing is, if they still like as much of a chore it is to watch the boys.
Yeah.
It's not because it's bad. It's because it's too much.
Yeah, too much of
Yeah.
not even the blood for me. It's just too much of the other gross shit, like
Yeah.
the Hyakin scenes and like the racist, misogynistic, homophobic scenes. You're like, can you please stop? We've heard that in our real world. I kind of want to stop that. Like,
Yeah, and like, dude, like the lobotomy scene. I was just like, that was the point where I just like looked away from the screen. I was just like, nothing. Anyway, yeah.
My point when I was like, can you fucking not, is when Frenchie and Kamiko follow that one guy who's simping over Firecracker and they see. Yeah, I'm like, can you fucking not? Christ. And like episode 4 with Tech Knight's dungeon, I'm like, fuck. And what they were about to do to Hugh, I was like, please God, don't. Don't cross that line. You cross a lot of lines. But don't do that.
Like, after the episode, Huey's just been through so much. I was like, I wanted to give Huey a hug. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
poor Jack Quaid.
I didn't.
Okay.
And he still goes through a lot because not Annie has Hyakin with him, and you're like, that's assault. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. And I was just like, and like even I was like, he's the victim here.
Yeah.
I was like,
And so that's why when Starlight gets mad, you're like, but you're a victim too. Why are you blaming him?
I was like, he didn't know.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some of the positives here. I think you would agree that the positive still remains is Anthony Starr as Homelander because he kills it. Even in this is a weak season for me, but he still kills it. I was like, you are just mesmerizing to watch. Can't take my eyes off you. Like the scene when he's talking to himself in the cracked mirror, like, stop having this need to be loved. You're pathetic. You're weak. And then the other guy's like, but Ryan needs you. He needs a father figure. And you're like, well, how come you haven't won anything yet in your life? Fuck.
Yeah, I was just like, I do love seeing that complexity, and that's what I love about. I can't really complain all that much when it comes to the boys' story.
Yeah.
Some of the visuals are a little too much, but the story alone, like this is the rare case that this is way better than the comics.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times in the comics they're very one-dimensional. They're very bad.
Yeah.
That's it. That's mostly, and then you got like stories with A-Train and like Homelander where he's like very complex. He clearly cares about Ryan from time to time. Like these are his different sides of his brain where he's like, where he's the clearly evil version of him, the nice version, and the disappointed version of him. And I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
this man will break. Very soon he's gonna break.
Yeah.
That's all I know. Or he's already broken for all I know.
Yeah. And he's still quite terrifying. Like when Huey's trying to escape from him in the vents, I'm like, oh fuck. This is the end of Huey. And Homelander's just killing everybody in the Disney on Ice parody.
No, he only kills like the Eve girl.
Oh, Maeve.
Yeah. Sorry, Eve. Like the Maeve girl. She gets like chopped in half. I was like, oh. And then they all start panicking.
Yeah.
And like the Jesus fellow is just like slicing off fingers with his ice. I was like, oh god. Like as funny as this is, I was like,
Yeah. I do love Homelander like teaching Ryan to be like, hey, you're superheroes. We can do well, as he says, whatever the fuck we want. Like when he's like, you see that guy over there, the director who's pressuring you to do stuff you don't like. You see him harassing the coworker. Let's teach him a lesson. And you're like, that is a bit cathartic. At the same time, it's not good for Ryan because he's like, all right, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You're like,
Yeah, I thought I was like, at first I thought like Ryan was gonna be like apologize, which he does. He's like apologize to her.
yeah,
I'm sorry, and like, and then I thought he was gonna be like fire him.
yeah.
Yeah, I really thought it was gonna go down that route, but it's not. It was like slap him. I was like, by the way, can I just mention something? The kid who plays Ryan, great job playing as Ryan.
Yeah.
I know, like he gets bullied on the internet because he's a kid going through puberty, and people are like, his voice is funny, motherfucker. You would have, you've gone through the same fucking stages.
Yeah.
It is fine.
Uh,
Like he is growing up.
yeah. Calm the fuck down. He's just a kid
Right?
doing his best. He's doing his best. Honestly.
Yeah. And like as the season progresses, his voice gets normal.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it stopped. Like it stopped having those squeaks and like the regular stages of growing up.
Yeah.
And like he's doing fine. And by the way, usually when that's the case, when the kid has like a really horrible like what do you call it, cracking voice,
Yeah.
usually they have like an amazing voice as they get older.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Another arc I do love is A-Train's. You mentioned A-Train. I love his redemption arc.
Yeah,
Seeing
I
where,
wanna see more.
yeah, seeing where he came from like going through Huey's girl to now, you're like, that truly is a fantastic arc to watch, and he's one of the reasons why I'm still tuned in because like, Jesse Archer's performance is just amazing. Him being like, I'm sick and tired of being this fucking puppet for bot, doing this what do you call that? The Blind Side S movie. This white savior.
The one with Will Ferrell.
And then when he rescues MM and like the kid sees him and he finally feels like a hero, you're like, that part's earned. Like he finally feels what it's like to for someone to look up to him, not some paid audience member to be like, yay, A-Train, but like legitimately being like, oh, I like that guy, he's my hero. You're like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
Yeah, and I was just like, all the death signs. I was like,
Yeah.
Homelander's gonna catch him. Homelander's gonna like laser beam his head or some shit. I don't fucking know. And I
Yeah.
was just scared for A-Train the entire season. I was like, please don't die.
Yeah.
You're redeeming.
Like, there are a lot of dead flags for him and MM for me. I was like, MM's gonna bite it soon, and I'm gonna fucking hate it. Either
Yeah.
by, let's be honest, at this point, either by Butcher's hand or like one of the boys. I mean, one of the 7.
Through a heart attack, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, oh god. I do like the new additions to the 7, like Firecracker and Sister Sage. Like, I can't believe that the actress for Firecracker, who's the girl from Detroit Become Human, she's the android, Valerie Curry. Yeah,
What? Oh, right, I forgot.
yeah, she's this.
That's why she looks so familiar.
Yeah, and like in real life, she's non-binary. She's very vocal about her stances, and then here she's playing the exact opposite. Like she's so
Yeah, the absolute worst
Yeah.
kind of person.
like, we've been around for a while, and she's one of those people that when she speaks, you're like, can you please shut the fuck up? So that's why when Annie was beating the shit out of her, I was like, do it again, please.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, I would say Sister Sage is like another kind of like strong character for me, where
Yeah.
she is a very like, I can't really say equal to Giancarlo Esposito's character, where
yeah,
they're very smart and they're not scared at all of Homelander.
yeah,
They're kind of like there, but Giancarlo like tips it up a bit because I don't know. The dude's just an intimidating character, even though he doesn't have any powers.
yeah. I mean, he
Um,
told Homelander that you're a bad product to his face, and you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
okay.
and Homelander's just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I do agree. Sister Sage is up there, and you're just like, she's like Tron. in this universe where you're like, what's your powers? I can outsmart you. I can undo everything you did with just my words and my brain. And you're like, fuck. And that's why she doesn't care that Homelander fires her, because she comes back and she's like, see, it all goes according to plan. Now let's go to phase 2. And you're like, what the fuck is phase 2?
Well, yeah, exactly. I was like, everything's already in the shitter. Well, like, what do you mean phase 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I would like to also like add that a new character is here as well.
Yeah.
And it's Kessler.
Joe Kess. Oh, yeah. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
And since, well, this is a spoiler review, and we've seen the end of the season of who's coming back, so you're like, alright, the Winchesters from Supernatural. And it's confirmed that the other half is coming to the last season. So you're like, oh, it's a fucking reunion.
I fucking love that. I wonder what his power is gonna be.
Right? But yeah, I read Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Joe Kessler. Fucking fantastic. And since we're getting to it, I do like what they did with Butcher in this season.
Same here.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, he only has like 6 months to live.
Yeah.
And like the man is going through it.
Yeah.
I really don't know how he gets out of bed. Where he's like, getting out of bed's like the hardest thing. Like he did say that. I was like, and you're just carrying out missions just like that? Okay.
Yeah.
You do you. But
and
I love it. Yeah.
You know the thing in his head, you're like, are you sure that's 6 months? That looks like tomorrow.
Like a lot of times I'm like, I think you just doing these missions will like is like shortening the amount of like time you have. But yeah, so like Butcher has like this creature inside of him, and he has super cancer. Not like Deadpool's super cancer, like super cancer, where he's like the fabrications of his mind's actually like fighting him.
Yeah, and that makes sense with his wife, Becca, and you're like, of course he sees his wife. But when that twist of Joe Kessler happens, you're like, what?
Fucking love that shit. Where his wife is just like, don't do it. Whatever you do. Think of Kimiko, think of like Starlight, or think of Annie.
Yeah.
And then Joe Kessler's like, shut the hell up.
Yeah. I was like, one, either you're still alive, how? Two, and then you see the wide shot, you're like, no. I
was like, we all had that Fight Club moment.
Yeah. Like, you see the doctor from Camino just be like, who the fuck is he talking to? This guy's on edge. Yeah,
he's just like, oh god. And I really thought Kessler has just been there the whole fucking time, just communicating with Butcher and just being like, let's do the big kill, you know?
Yeah, like you see how far Butcher is willing to go to eliminate the soups with the super virus, and you're like, he's not gonna go there. And by the end, you're like, I don't know who to root for anymore. Holy fuck. Which is a good and bad thing, because you're like, I am torn between Butcher and Homelander and the rest of the boys.
And like, dude, I love it that they kind of embodied the the intrusive thoughts. Like Kessler is the one who's he is the embodiment of Butcher's side of like kill everything.
Yeah.
And, like, this is if he didn't have the morality or like the teachings of like his wife.
Yeah.
By his side.
Yeah.
This is the monster that he'll become.
Yeah.
And then they pulled a fucking Metal Gear on us.
Yeah.
Where Kessler, like, takes full control of Butcher's body, and I was like... And then he's like this worm thing.
Yeah.
And people are like, you took V? I was like, wait a minute, we've all seen him take V. And that's not the power.
Right. I do love that fight between him, Black Noir, the Deep, and then with Annie by his side, because I'm like, fucking finally, we're back to the promise of season 1 and 2, where it's like the boys versus Soups, and it's a fucking fantastic fight scene. Apparently it took 10 days to film it, and I'm like, I can see that. Like when like him scrambling for the minigun, and at the same time poor Annie's being bounced to the roof into a table, and you're like, oh my god, poor Starlight, Jesus Christ. And then A-Train saves, and you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, And I was like, I don't know why they couldn't just fully commit to killing the dude. I'm sorry, he is funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes, not gonna lie, he is a highlight of the episode
Yeah.
where he's just being stupid.
Yeah. Him and
But a lot of times, I'm just like, please just finish him off. Just
Yeah.
like, just, you know, just like.
and he's unhinged because he killed the Tilda Swinton octopus. When she was dying, I was like, I can't tell if this is supposed to be sad or funny. I really can't.
And by the way,
I am dying.
and then it's like, I love you. And like she keeps going.
Yeah.
I was just like, alrighty. And like, by the way, I didn't know Tilda Swinton was the one. It was until like, you know, when you pause
Yeah.
Amazon, it'll gives you like the
Credits. Yeah.
I laughed so hard when I found out it was Tilda Swinton.
Uh,
No offense to Tilda Swinton. You're an amazing actress. I just didn't expect you to voice
Right?
Octopus.
Oh, there's one scene that I was like, you know what? I think I had enough of violence for one day. This is when Homelander goes back to his lab and destroys everybody. By the end, you're like, I really don't want to see what happens. I can picture him. Why do you have to show me? Why do you have to? I can tell what happens by his bloodied face. You know, you don't have to show me.
Yeah, those are the parts where I'm just like, yeah, I'm so exhausted. A lot of the times, I will say that there are moments where they do mention that, like, oh, there's this thing that we did last season. I'm like, I'm not going back to watch last season to know what the fuck.
Yeah. Also, when they revealed the virus from Gen V, I was like, full disclosure, I haven't seen Gen V yet.
I haven't seen Gen V either because I'm like, if I'm already watching The Boys, like, I didn't even watch dial like the
Animated.
diabolical-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, and I was like, you know what? I think this is too much.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like I already saw the scene where he removes the girl's jaw. I was like, I'm not watching it.
but to be honest, after this, I will start Gen V season 1 because I'm like, I'm curious now what happens.
Agreed, because there are characters here
Yeah.
that are like from Gen V, and I'm like, fuck, fine.
Yeah, like the girl who controls Frenchie by the end, and the guy who just tosses Kamiko, and you're like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck are your powers? I mean, I know, but like, I want to see you get developed in Gen V. But yeah, to be honest, I do agree with some of the internet where Starlight's arc here, I'm like, it's weak. Like, I don't vibe with it, especially when she's
I don't.
blaming Huey by the end. You're like, you're a victim too. Why?
I'll agree. Like
Yeah,
a lot of the times when it is Starlight's like arc,
yeah,
I was like, can we just move forward, please?
yeah,
And I'm not gonna lie, I was even more interested in Newman's arc
yeah.
more than Starlight's, and it was Newman's arc is barely there, where he's like crying to Huey and just asking him like, "Can you please save me?
Yeah.
Like, get me out of this. I want out."
Yeah. Though I do love the riot scene with Sister Sage when she's like in the crowd on the on like Starlight's side, but you know her agenda, and she's just like throws coffee at someone. She's like fucking fascist, and they all start rioting. She's just like, "All right, I done my job," and you're like, "Fuck, that's cool." At the same time,
That is-
terrifying.
I mean, y'all could see how easy it is to stir the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah. I don't know what other Frenchie's like tire. I would say it dragged a little bit.
Yeah, and like.
Um,
Yeah, him and Kamiko's. I'm like, I kind of want to see more of Kamiko's fight club days with that Filipino guy.
yeah. I was like, wait, wait, they're
Traffickers.
fuck.
Shit.
Oh.
Yeah, you're just like Pinoy. No.
Pinoy
What else? I do love the story with no, I love the story with Huey and his dad, Simon Pegg.
Oh,
It's just so jarring
so
to
good.
hear Simon Pegg speak American. I'm like, all right, right, you're not American, you're British, but it's so jarring because I've seen him be British or American, slightly American, like in Star Trek, but here you're like, yeah, Huey, I'm great from a stroke. You're like,
he's Scottish. And
oh,
Star
fuck, I committed a sin. I'm gonna go out. I'm kidding. Sorry, Simon Pegg. But yeah, brilliant actor, and like that arc did tug at the heartstrings. You're like, I don't want to see Simon Pegg go. Fuck, poor
Same
Huey.
here.
Yeah,
I love that him and Huey have like like those kind of powers where Huey teleports while his father phases through walls. God, I felt so bad for that one guy who was flirting with a nurse. I was like, oh my god, why?
I did too, but I'm like, at least it was instant. You know, it's not slow. It's not like, "Ah!" You're like, at least it's like one and done. Like, same thing I had with like Victoria Newman's death. I was like, at least it's fast. I don't want her.
It was not fast.
I mean, you didn't hear her scream by the end.
Butcher had her strung up for a bit. Well, Kessler had her strung up for a bit.
That's true.
And she couldn't scream because her mouth was covered.
Fine. Well, yeah, the patient had it better than Victoria Newman. Because it was just, again, one and done. You're like, at least.
Yeah, I really felt bad that Victoria Newman like
Died.
got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, I liked her character.
Right? Had no idea that her and Jack Quaid were together until after. I was like,
Yeah, they're together.
yeah. Interesting.
By the way, like, did you like? What were your thoughts on like Kimiko and like Reggie?
I liked it. I was like, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah,
I'm like,
for the longest time we've been like, when are they gonna end up together?
yeah.
Like, Frenchie has like this relationship with this guy who looks like Lewis Hamilton, who was from Modern Warfare. And then, like, I think he was just more of like a plot device to progress Frenchie's character because
He can't live with
he's
himself.
yeah, yes, he's the reason. He kind of just adopted him. Because after he killed like his family, he just adopted him, and like, he's like
Yeah.
filled with so much he killed.
I do love that conversation with him and Starlight about forgiveness and what sins God should forgive, and there are some sins that I don't think God should forgive. And just like, fuck, it's hard to hear, but at the same time, what brilliant dialogue. You see like
Yeah.
Frenchie just being like pouring his heart out, and Starlight is just like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah. And then like we needed like Huey to just like get everybody together and just be like,
Yeah.
it was a bit cheesy, but at the same time I'm like, he has a point. As cheesy as it is, he has a point where he's
Yeah.
like, oh, forgiveness and love, that's brave.
Yeah. Though this is a weak season, by the way, saying The Boys has a weak season is like nothing because it's all been like pretty good so far. But
Yeah.
the ending got me hyped for season 5 because I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen now? Holy
Right?
fuck! Like, Sister Sage's plans go through, even though they dropped the ball a few times, and Homelander is now essentially the president of the U.S. and the U.S. is under martial law, and he's like, to the Starlighters hiding, we're coming for you. I'm coming for you. Like, oh, oh fuck, Jesus Christ!
and the man pretty much has like this Order 66 moment where he's like killing everybody who has like dirt on Homelander and the Seven. I was like,
And
nah, shit.
what's more terrifying is that you find out he was using Tech Knight to make cams, and you're like, Jesus Christ, the show is going there. Another funny moment is when they were like, how do we hurt a masochist? And they're like, oh, just donate to the causes he doesn't support. And they're like, how about Black Lives Matter? He's like, no, please, you bastards.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. But I guess Butcher's gonna be alive for a bit because
Yeah.
the virus in his head or whatever is in his head is
Yeah.
like keeping him alive. Because when he walked in,
Mhm.
I was like, he's oddly healthy.
You know, it's this weird Venom-esque symbiotic, not even symbiotic, parasitic relationship. And you're like,
Yeah.
huh, I wonder how this is going to end. Because I kind of know how it ends in the comics, but they said they're not going that route, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really aren't because like the virus didn't push through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I am excited for season 5. Like when the boat drops and you see that Magneto person, I'm like, who the fuck are you? When were you
Well,
here?
she was in like
A previous season?
Yeah, she was in season 3 where like
I don't remember.
yeah. Remember the
Oh yeah, the one who sets himself.
Yeah.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah, like she was in that like institute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And poor MM getting the cock end of things literally with a love sausage. I'm like, can you please fucking stop doing this to MM? What last season with the biggest bukkake on screen? You're like, can you please stop? And now with love sausage, no, granted. No, there's no positive side there.
No,
No.
not at all. But yeah, it ends badly for this season because they all get caught.
Yeah.
And Kimiko, stop.
Yeah, Kimiko can talk, and you're like, all right. Again, I normally I'd be like, I don't want it to end, but now I'm like, you know what? Season 5 is a good way to end.
Yeah. I was like, dude, finishing this season alone, I was just like, okay, I could rest. I went to bed right after. I was just like,
But we are getting more of this world. Gen V season 2 is coming up with the Deep returning, and like there's a prequel with Jensen Ackles and Ayakash, Stormfront, and Soldier Boy, and I'm like, huh.
I don't know if I want that, but okay.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about them, their characters being the leads. I'm like, oh cool, some alt-right guy and a literal Nazi. Holy fuck. But we'll see where it goes. But yeah. What would you rate The Boys season 4?
I would rate The Boys season 4 like a 7.
Okay.
Ironic. Was this? What a coincidence. But yeah, like, yeah, I'm gonna rate it a 7 because I will say there are a lot of times where it was too draggy when it comes to certain plots where, a lot of the times you just wanted to see the boys like butt heads with each other. Yeah, not butt with each other. I mean like with soups. Sometimes we just want to see them go like full on. But I get it. This is more of like a game of chess season.
Yeah.
Because they're really trying to navigate through just pure on manipulation.
Yeah.
And I think this is their introduction of how they get like the people to get riled up and be like, hey, we want like, you know, to get them like to kill each other kind of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. But I guess that's them showing us what's gonna happen in season 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole Starlight thing, it was weak.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, and I wish it was a little bit stronger. With Frenchie, yes, it was impactful and like it had a nice ending to it until you know you get caught. But it dragged on a little too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, like I will say Joe Kessler, fucking amazing new character.
Yeah.
I want to see more of him. Butcher is a highlight here, especially also Anthony Starr as Homelander.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg, even though his time was short, like he did a really great job. And yeah, like I enjoyed the things I enjoyed. I got sick on the things I got sick on, and I didn't like the things I didn't like. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a 7. It's just a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll stick with the theme of the 7. Because it's a 7 out of 10 as well. I love the performances everywhere. I do like the stories of Butcher, Homelander, and the new additions, Joe Kessler, Firecracker, and Sister Sage, and Huey, of course. And like their stories are very compelling. There are some stories that drag on, like you said, Frenchies and like Starlights. I'm just like, I don't know where this is going. I know what you're trying to say, but at the same time, it is dragging, and at the same time, it is just not clicking for me. But that's fine. It doesn't mean that Erin Moore TRT's performance is bad. It just means her story wasn't as developed or like written as well as previous seasons. Like I do like where the story is going, and I am interested to see how they end it with season 5. I just don't know if they'll keep going with the Voice universe, because I kind of wish that like, all right, season 5 is the end of this arc.
We're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
And we just have, Invincible. Invincible was confirmed for season 3 just this morning. So I'm like, all right.
Another superhero thing I'll get tired with. Not tired of, just tired.
Get tired, especially with the introduction of that one character, and you're like, I know what's about to happen. I don't want it. But yeah. Question. I asked this before, but is there any superhero that is underrated or underused that you would like to see have their own series? I would like Hellboy. I know you would like Hellboy.
Damn it, you took it.
You sure there's no
Yeah,
gun-wielding demon from Todd McFarlane that you would like to see adapted for a
I
series?
mean, yeah, I would love.
Spawn.
I'm trying to see. Gun wielding demon. But you're talking about Spawn, right?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look, I think that would be a really good one if they're gonna make like an R-rated
Series.
superhero TV series,
yes.
whether it be animated or not.
Yes, definitely.
Spawn would be a really good choice.
Yeah. You know what? I would like to see the Suicide Squad get their own animated series. I know there's an anime, but I hear bad things about it. So, here's hoping for more stuff. But yeah, that's been our video on The Boys Season 4. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite season? Please comment down below. If you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I am Enzo. I am Enz Wolf at Letterboxd. Sorry, I got tongue twisted for some reason. And Zoda's Voices on TikTok. Where can I find you?
You can find me at JohnJM_ on Instagram. It is my account.
And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.